class, and welcome to week 11 of ECS 116, Teaching in a Diverse Society. So we're coming to an end of Module 5, which concluded in week 10, and we'll be starting Module 6. And Module 6 is going to contain a discussion about an introduction to the isms, the ISMSs. So I think you'll find it very interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the objectives, the instructions, and then also go through the different activities in the module for Module 6 for week 11. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the Module 6 objectives. So at the end of this module, we will want you to be able to identify the different isms that are out there in our communities and our societies, and also identify your own personal beliefs, your beliefs and biases, and how those relate to the isms. And then we want you to be able to develop strategies for dealing with isms on a professional level when you're working with children and families. And lastly, analyze your biggest challenges in dealing with the isms when you're working in early childhood programs. So just know that isms are things like racism, ableism, ageism, genderism. There's all different types, and know that we all have biases in relationship to these isms based on how we've been socialized. So what happens is, moving forward when you're working with other people's children, you have to be aware of those isms and biases, and you have to also make sure that you don't project those onto other people's children. So that's really in a nutshell what we're looking at. So you can see that Module 6 covers weeks 11 and 12. So this week we're talking about the 11th week assignments, and then I'll open up the 12th week assignments next week. So Module 6 is open October 30th through November 12th. And here are your activities that will be due by Sunday, November 5th. So first you're going to read Chapter 6 in your DCEC book. Then I'd like for you to watch a video called Students Learn a Powerful Lesson About Privilege and the concept of privilege. So based on how we were born and how we've been socialized, some of us have just what's called invisible privilege over others. Also, I'd like you to review the articles that are located in the Module 6 readings, followed by a video that's titled, What is Privilege? So lastly, I have a PowerPoint where I've provided an overview of the different types of isms, and I've also provided you their definitions. So you're going to, want to make sure that you review the information in the folder on the isms as well. So you've got a discussion board post where your post on the isms is due by Thursday, November 2nd at midnight. And then please log back in and respond to 2 to 3 classmates. So here's a little reminder. I know people are really busy and we're getting into week 11 of the term. Please make sure that you're not just giving your opinion in the discussion board, but you really need to be backing it up with information from the textbook or other course materials to get full credit. So we're going to go ahead a little bit further into our module. So here you can see the readings. So we do have our Diversity in Early Care and Education book, Chapter 6. And then I have an article on social justice. I have an article on using the queer theory to rethink gender equity in early childhood education, and also an article called Undoing Racism, Understanding White Privilege, which the theorist Kendall has done a lot of work in that area. So then if we continue, you'll see here's our video about white privilege. And then also here is another video about white privilege. And then here is our overview of the isms. And we use words like oppression. So that would be another word that will be defined for you. And then the different isms. And there's other isms, but we're going to focus on the more common ones. So there's some definitions for you. And then what you're going to notice in the next section is I actually have additional information based on the isms. So there's something on racism, there's something on ableism, classism, sexism. So I've tried to provide you some more backup information on those different isms. And then here is a very informative handout. So let me make sure it loads. So there's these hidden rules that occur in society based on your class. And class would be, are you from the low socioeconomic sector, from the middle class sector, or from the wealthy sector? And it's even exchanges, for example, how you view possessions. So for people who are in poverty situations, they view possessions as people. Middle class view it as things, and wealthy look at things in terms of like, is it one of a kind? Is it a legacy? Is it, the highest level of thing? When we think about money, many people in a impoverished situation think it's to be used and to be spent. If a middle class, someone who was raised in middle class, they think you have to manage it, and then if you're wealthy, you have to conserve it and invest it. So just going through these different things, very interesting. So even if we look at how different classes view education, so lower socioeconomic classes value and revere it as abstract, but it's not really a reality. The middle class see that it's crucial for climbing success and making money, and the wealthy class consider it a tradition. So it's just something that everybody does in your family. So please take a moment to really look through all of these different things. Know that Ruby Payne is the author, and she wrote a book called A Framework for Understanding Poverty, and this is an excerpt from that book. So I'd like for you to take all that information into consideration, and then we're going to answer our discussion board, which is on taking into consideration the isms and what does it mean to you in terms of your personal experience and in terms of your professional obligation when you're an early childhood educator, and also how does it look in terms of diversity and understanding multiple perspectives, especially when those are different than your own. So you're going to post by Thursday at midnight and respond to classmates no later than Sunday. So I look forward to reading what you come up with on this, and know it's such a crucial, integral part of being a teacher in a very diverse society. So if you have questions, you need assistance, please don't hesitate to let me know. You can reach me at troepke@hancockcollege.edu. Have a great week.